Hello and welcome to ET Energy World. I am Sudhir and we are in a conversation with Shilpa Urhekar. She's the CEO of the RE EPC business for Gensol. A very warm welcome to you on our platform, Shilpa.
Thank you so much, Sudhir.
Let me begin this conversation by trying to understand from you, very broadly speaking, if you can give us a sense of Gensol's business in the sense that what are the different segments you represent in? What is the if you look at the operational portfolio, what is the size and the nature of this business?
Okay, so Gensol started their journey as a carbon credit company, and then eventually to being consultant, and then uh, mm, later to small scale rooftops. And now we are taking our first steps into large utility scale projects. So we have been looking at working with large IPP developers now, and we have secured some very good sized orders. And our preparation is to be able to execute up to 3 gigawatt in a year, and we are gearing up for that in terms of technology, in terms of team sizes. We are also looking at upskilling our existing teams. So a lot of action is happening on all fronts.
Okay, okay. Shilpa, one of the segments within the RE space in India, at least, which is growing significantly, is the EPC, right? And I want to understand from you, what are the key trends that are shaping currently in that space, right? Because a lot of, I mean, if you look at a growth trajectory of solar in this country, it has been a huge growth over the past, some years, and EPC as a segment of it, has is responsible for a large part of it. So, what are the key trends that are shaping up there? How does Gensol as a company look at that space? What are the key areas of growth opportunities that exist for you in that space? And what's keeping you busy as far as the EPC business is concerned?
That's a great question. So, uh, see, India did about 14 gigawatt, almost a 14 gigawatt in the first 7 months of this year. And the studied estimates are pegging this capacity to around 20 to 22 gigawatts. Now, if I look at the CEA optimal mix projection, there is a need to do 36 gigawatts starting this year, every year, up to March 2025. So, even I go by that, we'll still be short of the target uh, by almost 40 to 45%. So, the trend and focus of the entire solar industry is to bridge this gap. And this gap can be, I believe that this gap can be bridged by doing capacity addition on all fronts. One is pure solar, so close to 12 gigawatt of pure solar, standalone solar bids have been bidded out in the first half of this year. And then adding storage as a component to solar, which will bolster the capacity addition parallel to standalone solar. Around 13 gigawatt of complex solar projects have been bidded out in the first half of this year. So, if we look at all of this capacity addition, and the trend that we see is to mm, combine solar with other technologies like storage. The industry is also moving towards RTC FDRE, primarily driven by the demand side requirements. And so, yeah, that is the direction in which Gensol is also preparing itself to be. Second trend that we see, which is going to be very important, is digitization of the entire of whatever portions of the process possible, like resource assessment, simulations, predictions, plant assessments, operational plant assessments, all of this put together. So digitization and using digitization in effective project management, that's another trend that we are focusing on. So all of this put together will see that there is a transition that is technology based and a wholesome transition, and that's what at Gensol we are focusing on. So how we do it is we've already invested a lot of time and effort in identifying storage technologies, and we have won two large bids from GUVNL, and these bids are uh, at record prices, and we are now focusing on actually implementing these on ground. So that is going to be a large contribution, I would say, from Gensol as a trend setter towards the storage and eventually the solar EPC addition to it. So this knowledge puts us on the path of being able to offer end-to-end integrated solution to our C&I clients also, which is the third trend. So we are seeing a lot of addition of capacity requirements coming from the industry, which is one of the largest emitters, and the decarbonization targets given by the government as well as the self-declared targets by industries are pushing the requirements in the C&I segment as well. So we are seeing that our technological expertise that we are building is helping us to offer these fully integrated solutions to the C&I segment as well. The fourth thing that I would like to talk about is uh, the our manpower. So in an EPC, the only IP that we have is our team, and that is our bloodstream. So and today the amount of capacity addition going on in the entire country to acquire and retain good talent is the key. So that is another focus area or a trend, I would say, we are focusing on.
Okay. Shilpa, we're talking about manpower. What is the current assessment of manpower requirement that you have for Gensol, let's say over the next few years? I'm sure you would have done that assessment based on the kind of growth projections that you have across geographies and across skill sets. Can you share some details on that?
Sure. So we are so Gensol is expanding recently in the EPC field, and we are focusing on acquiring talent from all over the all over the sector as well as the side sectors, like the infrastructure segment. And what we are targeting is to build at least 1,000 people strong team which will be on payroll, and rest of it, as the projects come and go, we could be taking on third party roles. So that is so overall, I would say, at a peak time when we are executing a 2 to 3 gigawatt, a total manpower of 3 to 3,500 is what I will be operating with in the peak periods. Of this, the engineering segment would be a large segment. Of, the largest would of course be the execution segment, wherein uh, what we have recently done the study, and like you said, yes, we have prepared for it and preparing for it. So we have done an analysis of the teams who are joining us, and we have 22 companies, the top tier 1 companies we are hiring from, and almost 50 to 52% of our hired manpower will be from tier 1, top tier 1 companies, and that will be distributed in especially the engineering, procurement, and of course the construction leadership will be from these companies. So that's what we are looking at.
Shilpa, this 1,000 number that you just shared on roll, I'm on payroll. I'm sure in addition to that, you would also be looking at some contractual workers, right?
That's
So so let's say this 1,000 number, if I look at it today, where does the number stand today?
So we are around, if I remember correctly, around 375 to 400
Okay.
as we speak. And by so we have a month on month addition targets set internally. So
Okay, fine. This is entire Gensol, right? Not just solar EPC.
no, this will include the Scorpius tracker as well as
Okay.
yeah, as well as a small part of the storage team, a very small part of it. So
Yeah.
all of that included, we are talking about the numbers.
Okay. Shilpa, what are the new areas of growth opportunities that are being explored, at your end? If you could give us some sense of that.
So, like I already said, storage is one area of focus for us. We've also recently bid for some new technology pilot projects in consortium with Matrix, which is another entity. And mm, this is a project which is bio-waste to hydrogen. So, we are focusing on niche new projects and bringing in investments for these projects. Basically, we would like to lead the way to the whole decarbonization journey in a comprehensive way. So storage, we are already bidding for. We've already won couple of bids for electrolyzers, in some of our other entities, and now this bid also in consortium. So we are looking at a wholesome solution offering eventually that can be done by Gensol. Another thing that we are also looking at is expanding our scope in pre-project development, which is basically land acquisition and connectivity. So we are looking at, rather, we are already building teams for land acquisition, and so when we as EPC, when we offer solution to the power producers, we would want to be giving them land with connectivity and be coming in to do the EPC.
Okay. Okay. If I can ask you the last question of this conversation, Shilpa. A lot is changing in India's overall energy landscape at the moment. We're going through a kind of a transition. Okay. How do you look at that transition? How does Gensol view that entire transition that is happening? There are various ways of looking at it. Which are the specific areas where Gensol thinks there's a growth potential or growth opportunities that exist for the company to get in and create value as far as the energy transition story of India is concerned.
So, let's look at what how the big picture is unfolding, and in that we believe that utility scale, large scale solar projects will be the primary mainstay of the energy transition process. And while that is happening, the C&I segment coming in as a as an addition, I will say, to the transition journey. So we focusing on that. We are one of the very few EPCs who are doing both utility scale as well as C&I as a segment. And so basically, why I say the C&I are normally small scale projects around 20 to 50 megawatt, say maximum 70 to 100, whereas utility scale are in the range of 500 to 700 megawatt. So we are addressing both sizes. We are developing teams for both sizes. We recently even forayed into distributed solar. So that's another piece of the transition story where the distributed far-reaching places are connected by smaller grids. So under the Kusum scheme, we have recently won a substantial capacity. And third segment is the new technologies, which is hydrogen and storage. So this will help us to eventually also be part of the hydrogen building story. So we've recently closed some of our technology partnerships, and we'll be soon talking about it. But while the papers are getting inked, uh, that is one path that we have set ourselves on, and we believe that that is a major piece in the transition story.
Okay, yeah, no doubt. Thank you, Shilpa. Thanks for sharing those wonderful views with us, and it has been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Sudhir. Thank you so much.